It's the morning of the market. Here we go. I'm gonna be filming at the market as much as I can in hopes of doing like a market video. So stay tuned for that. All right, peace. Having one person with you or multiple people with you to help is so necessary. I can't even stress this enough. For the first couple of markets that I've done, I would have one person with me, and it was usually my 16-year-old would be there with me. And in the beginning, when I was starting out, that worked out. I was still learning the whole market game, and I was still trying to figure things out, and I was trying to figure out, how to get my groove and all of that. And having one person helping me worked. However, as I got a lot more experience and I changed my table around, which got me a lot more traffic, and I became more and more busy. But I ended up needing another person because I was very busy, and I sold the most that I've ever sold at this market. And I needed that second person. One person is usually collecting money and helping answer like money questions, and the other person can help like packaging things up and again answering more questions, because people have a lot of questions. I find myself extraordinarily busy during these markets answering a lot of art questions. Yes, bring somebody with you. So bringing chargers for your devices might seem kind of like a no-brainer, but honestly, I'm not even kidding. I saw two vendors at this event where they didn't have chargers for their devices and they lost all their power. And, for whatever reason, they needed their devices. And one of the vendors was a mom who had her 5-year-old son with her, and he needed to charge his iPad. So for her, it was really, really important. I know it's like, duh, I'm going to bring my charger, but it's like, no, when you're very busy getting ready, which is what I talked about in my other video, go check that one out, which is, tips on how to be prepared ahead of time. One of those things that I talk about is giving yourself like a week in advance to really go through a list of things and make a list for yourself. So remembering to bring chargers for your devices is one of those things to get on a list so that it can get checked off, so that you never forget a charger for your stuff. And hey, you know what? You may not even need it, but guess what? You might be able to help someone else at the market. You might be able to help another vendor and, make their day, which is pretty awesome. Tip number 3 is bring a supply bag of some kind, or a supply bin, however you want to have it travel with you. But inside should be things like a mallet, even a couple of nails, zip ties, sticky putty for, sticking things up on the wall, duct tape, even scotch tape, scissors, a stapler, a staple gun. So in other words, think in your mind, what are all the things that you can use to hang things, adhere things, or fix things to? You want to have that on hand with you, because again, at some point, somebody's going to need it. And the people that were to the left of us this day, turns out I'm sure you can see in the video that there was a brick wall behind us, and she had a banner that she usually hangs up, I guess. I don't know how she usually hung it up, but she didn't have anything to hang her banner up with, or she didn't have anywhere to put it, anything to put it on. So she had no stand or anything like that for her sign. And so she was asking around who had a way to like hang something on brick. And it's like, I didn't even know what to suggest to her at that point. But those are the things as a vendor that you want to stop and think about. What are the tools that you're going to end up needing? What are some scenarios that you're possibly going to run into? And also, you can think ahead of time and know that you're going to be indoor. I wasn't going to have to deal with wind. I wasn't going to have to deal with any of that. So I didn't need a canopy. So there were some of those items that I didn't even bring with me. It wasn't necessary. But if we were outside, then, you know, I probably would have brought the mallet, and I would have brought nails, and I would have brought those types of things. I didn't need them indoors. And, you know, they should fit the environment that you're going to be in. Okay, one of the no-brainers, but often forgotten, is a garbage. A garbage for yourself, for your setup area. It could be a good little garbage bag. I saw people at the market, they had actual, you know, small little trash cans. It's just a good idea to have your own way to dispose of random papers, random garbage, packaging. When your things break, I had items break that I just didn't know. I couldn't always just walk away from where I was to leave because it was super busy, even though I had two people with me. It is just something that so many people don't do, and it is so worth it. You can just keep it right underneath your table, and you just always have a way to get rid of your garbage. And tip number 5, bring food and drink for everyone. Have some kind of food that can kind of sit and, you know, sit there without refrigeration, that will keep. And bring yourself a water bottle, preferably one that will stay cool on its own for all the hours that you're going to be there. Do not assume that you're going to be able to get some kind of food. It almost never happens. Something always happens. It's like you're dealing with large crowds or an onset of people that just keep coming and coming, and that's what you want, right? You want to be busy. The other part of that is that you go for a lot of hours without eating, and you shouldn't do that either. Even though you're like running on adrenaline, you really should be feeding yourselves and taking a moment, and in between the, you know, when you do have little downtimes, those times can be spent actually eating, and don't just survive on coffee. Things like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches keep really well. That and a tin water bottle to keep your water nice and cool, like that should suffice. Or like little snacks that you can just kind of eat very quickly, like dried fruit or trail mix, nuts, those types of things keep. And they have protein, and they're going to give you energy, and you don't have to go through a lot, and it's not messy. I would highly suggest something like that. And that's it. Thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you if you're still here to the end of the video. You're artsy fartsy, and I love that about you. Think about subscribing if you're not subscribed already. And also think about visiting my Etsy store and just browsing around and seeing what's there and what I've been working on. And if you're interested, I have another channel. It's called Angel Says Life, where I do completely different content. I will leave my channel link in the description. I will leave my Etsy link and all of my other Angel Says Art social media links in the description. I really, really hope that you all enjoyed my 5 tips. And until next time, thank you. Bye bye. Peace.